I just wanted to make some comments in respect of FNPF withdrawals. As you know, that now that the SUVA has been included in the lockdown area, obviously there are certain benefits that will flow on to those members of FNPF. So let me just reiterate. As you know, in the budget we had allocated specific funding for those in the tourism sector, $5.6 million unemployment benefit for lockdown areas of $7 million. And SUVA now will be included in that. Unemployment benefit lockdown areas for the informal sector of $3 million. Unemployment benefit in general, $5 million. Assistance to SMEs, $5 million. Contingency funds for unemployment, which is $5 million. And contingency funds general of $27.4 million. So to reiterate, because we've been getting a lot of queries from members of the public, and we hope that the media will also be able to convey this message. As you know, that the tourism sector, which now of course applies to everywhere in Fiji, members are eligible to withdraw $1,000 from the FNPF general account. If the balance is below $1,000, the government will actually top it up for you or supplement it. The lockdown areas now of course include Lautoka and Suva. You are eligible to withdraw up to $500, and again, if you don't have the $500 in your general account, government will also then supplement that particular amount. Now, it also applies, let me give you some following scenarios. Employees' place of employment is within the Lautoka and Suva lockdown areas and are affected as the employer and company is not an essential service and therefore closed down. So a classic example is, for example, a garment factory. So even though you may live within the confined area space, but the garment factory is not going to open, then obviously you can access the funds up to $500, and again, government will top it up for you. Those who live outside the lockdown areas but actually work within the lockdown areas and therefore cannot get to work, again they can withdraw $500 and government will also top that up. Or alternatively, you live within the lockdown area but your place of work is outside the lockdown area. So if you live, for example, in Nasinu and your place of work is in Nasori, you obviously cannot get to work for the next 2 weeks and therefore you're entitled to the $500, and again government will top that up. We've similarly, as I mentioned, areas such as garment factories and various other factories in the lockdown area, government will also supplement those people who need to withdraw up to $500, and if they don't have $500, then government will actually supplement that. Now, it also includes all throughout Fiji, wherever, for example, the nightclub in Lambasa is no longer operational, the gym in Nandi Town is no longer operational. Those people also can withdraw their funds up to $500, or there's a lot of young people, for example, who work in the cinemas. The cinemas have not been open. They can also go and withdraw $500, and again, should they have less than $500 eligibility, then government will top it up to make it $500. Now, we've been talking to FNPF, as you know, and FNPF, of course, needs to be very prudent about this, and because we do not know, as the Honourable Prime Minister mentioned, as to how long this phenomena will take us into in respect of, when will it finish, when will we actually stopping the lockdowns, when will the borders open, when will tourism start, when will trade start, on a fuller basis. So now those people or members of FNPF who have been unemployed for the last 6 months can of course go and withdraw their funds also now. So there are some people who, for example, have called up and said, well, I lost my job last year in November, not related to COVID-19, but they can go and withdraw their funds. Whatever amount is there for them from the general account, government will not provide a top-up for that because it's not specifically related to COVID-19 situation. But they can still withdraw. Or those people, for example, whose employment was terminated, not because of COVID-19, but for some other reason, and they have been unemployed, they can go and also withdraw funds, whatever amount is in their account. And again, those people who may have resigned can withdraw after 3 months from the date of resignation. Again, it's not COVID related, but they have resigned for some reason. They can withdraw those funds after 3 months from the date of resignation. And of course, there are some people, and I'll give you an example. There are a lot of taxi drivers who, for example, have been in touch with us. Because the hours have been cut down because of curfew, and because there has not been much traffic vis-a-vis people getting into their taxis, a lot of these taxi drivers actually have their own FNPF accounts. A lot of them, for example, may have worked previously, have an FNPF account. Some of them are getting paid cash in hand now. They don't have FNPF contributions because the workers contract people on contracts. They can access the FNPF accounts also. And of course, there's no top up from government, but whatever amount is available for them in the general account, they can withdraw that. Similarly, there are people who drive hire cars. There are a lot of people in the West. They can also, withdraw their funds that's available for them through their general account. And of course, they can access up to $1,000. All of these people can access up to $1,000 from their FNPF account. We've had a number of complaints now. When I say a number of complaints, that are unacceptable levels of complaints, where some employees are saying that the employers are not giving them their letters to say that, you are no longer have work or we've shut down. And we suspect that those employers are not giving them the letters because they have not been paying the FNPF contribution. So please, I urge all the employers, if you haven't been up to date with the FNPF contributions, still give the letters to your employees because you're denying them the ability to access their own funds. And we've asked FNPF to actually pursue those employers who are actually not issuing those letters, and there could be a breach under the FNPF Act and any other relevant laws. So again, we urge all those employers, please ensure that you give those letters to staff. We've had people, some of them have been queuing up for days or pursuing them. It's actually inhumane to do that to your staff just because you want to protect yourself from a statutory compliance that you did not actually adhere to. Again, we've been talking to FNPF. FNPF is also making a number of these forms available online. So you don't physically have to go to FNPF offices to actually collect those forms. And they'll be available online. In the next couple of days, there'll be more forms available because there are obviously separate forms for those who are under the COVID-19 provisions, where we're actually topping up the accounts, and those who actually fall outside the COVID-19 provisions. And again, that will be processed separately. And more details will be announced by FNPF in that respect. So those are the details regarding FNPF withdrawals. As we said, please don't rush to that. We have offices in this area in Vale Levu. Of course, offices in Suva, as the Honourable Prime Minister announced. FNPF offices will continue to remain open. They are now also ensuring the social distancing that's there. And we urge more people, please try and download the forms. Don't physically come into the offices, but try and download the forms and fill it out, and then you can drop off the forms. And the monies, of course, will be put into your accounts. Thank you. Are there any questions?
So, how are the other world economies, our trading partners doing? And some of them are improving, like China. How would that affect Fiji?
Well, as you know, at this point in time, there are some of the initial reports, of course, in respect of China, but our very close neighbors obviously are still going through the throes of COVID-19. As you know, that closer to home, countries like Australia and New Zealand have announced massive stimulus packages. I mean, we're just looking at some recent statistics. The Australia's are likely to jump to $500 billion in debt. Their debt to GDP ratio only a few months ago was 19.5. Now is going to go up to 26% of the GDP. So there will be massive injections into the economy. Those larger economies, of course, have the luxury to essentially create money. And in Australia's case, for example, ultimately the organization that will buy up the government bonds that will be issued will be the Reserve Bank of Australia. So there's been a huge strain. As you know, that in Europe there is a massive impact on the economies, and now people are projecting all sorts of worst case scenarios in terms of organizations collapsing overnight. New Zealand, for example, has terminated the services of 40% of Air New Zealand employees. So 40% of Air New Zealand employees no longer have their jobs. Other airlines are also announcing similar terminations or redundancies for them. But in our case, obviously, we have to, like we said right from day one when the COVID response budget was presented, we have to learn to pace ourselves. So this is why we are, the announcement we just made in respect of people who fall outside the ambit of what we had announced in terms of the assistance, that they can also go off and withdraw their own funds, so they actually are able to live on their own funds. If it drags out for a longer period of time, then obviously government will need to step into those areas also.
So a number of key utilities, EFL and Water Authority Fiji, their staffs live outside the boundaries. Now, how is this going to work out?
Well, we understand that there is probably enough staff within the greater Suva area that could provide services. But of course, as announced, and for Lautoka, as we've seen, that even though for example, EFL and Water Authority staff, some of them have lived outside the confined area, those services by Water Authority Fiji and EFL have continued to be in place. So we don't think it necessarily will have any detrimental impact in respect of the services being provided. And again, those services will need to continue, including other statutory organizations that provide essential services, including the civil service. Yesterday, of course, as you know, the work from home program has been launched, and we had a meeting with all the permanent secretaries yesterday. By this afternoon, we'll know exactly which which departments in which ministries will have people working from home. That will also be publicized, so members of the public are also aware. And of course, with this new announcement too, there's certain restrictions now being placed, but those essential services will continue to be provided.
So what's the discussions governments have with the bus operators? Because we've seen in the Lautoka lockdown area, after 1 week, buses stopped operating, some bus companies shut down completely. Discussions with the bus operators about the situation here?
Well, at this point in time, as announced by the Prime Minister, the buses obviously, we expect them to continue, and people do need to go to the hospital, etc. Within the confined area space. But what we're asking the bus companies to do and the drivers to practicing, physical distancing. We're already seeing in buses, a lot of people are just sitting in one person per seat. A lot of people are doing that. Of course, with the restrictions now in place, with a lot of the businesses shut down for the next 14 days in Suva, there will be far less people actually using public transportation. So those who will be using public transportation, they will be able to practice social distancing a lot better.
In terms of the discussions with FNPF, those employers, how many, have they told you anything on how many they suspect to not be paying contributions?
Well, no, we don't have those figures yet, but what we are getting complaints are from employees who are saying that, my employer is not issuing the letter. So we cannot think of any other reason. I mean, we're sure not all of them are lazy to just give letters, but we suspect that some of them may not be paying, and of course we'll find out very, very soon. But what we are asking them, please, that's a separate matter if you have not paid, but at least issue those letters so the employees can actually access their own money.
The question is now coming from those who may have casual jobs and may not even have FNPF. How will the government assist me?
Well, we've already announced that, as you know, that for the informal sector, if you have actually been earning a living other than from a formal sector, which is you're not working for anybody but working for yourself, and if you're registered, you have a license, a hawker's license, etc., and then we'll be providing you $150 for the informal sector. That was announced in the budget. So that applies, of course, for the Lautoka lockdown area, but also for the Greater Suva lockdown area also.
Do you have a figure on how many would be affected would now go to FNPF to apply for that?
They don't go to FNPF. For the informal sector, they don't go to.
I mean, with the lockdown, those that would now be able to go to FNPF.
This question is not related to the previous
Yes, it's
question.
not related to the informal.
So what is your question?
How many people do you expect to go now that would be affected?
To FNPF?
Now, living outside, living in, and
Well, we obviously, can only estimate those people who are working within the Suva Greater Lockdown area. There are some people, of course, who have chosen not to withdraw. They have their own savings. So we can't go and tell exactly how many people will go to FNPF to withdraw. We know that there are some employees who said, look, I don't want to touch my FNPF. Thank you, but I'll save it for later. And I've got enough savings in my, in my bank account. There are those, of course, who go to it immediately. So in respect to the exact figures, it won't be prudent for me to make some speculative announcement or figure announcement on that. We'll of course be able to tell in the next few days how many people will actually turn to FNPF.
just a final one, because now if you've been unemployed for the last 6 months, you can go and get that assistance from FNPF. In your discussions with FNPF, they said they have the capacity, financial capacity, to deal with this moving forward, because we don't know how COVID-19 will last now.
Yeah, obviously, and that's what we've been saying right from the day one, that everybody needs to understand that we do not have a exact time as to when all of this will end. So FNPF, of course, is being very prudent. This is why we are being prudent in our discussions with them. The reason why FNPF is able to, we are able to stand here today and make these announcements because FNPF has the capacity to pay that. Other questions? Thank you very much. Naka.